Hi, everyone. I'm Christine Kidder-Graves. I'm an executive career coach, career and mindset coach, and I love doing these LinkedIn Lives. And today I'm talking about coaching because I feel that many of you that aren't tapping into coaching right now, you're really missing out. You're missing out on an incredible, powerful tool. And it's coaching is like a fast track. It accelerates your results. And this training is going to be really short and simple. But I'm going to give you the details, the who, what, how, and why of coaching. And by the way, you don't have to work with me, just so you know. This is not a sales pitch, although I would love it for you to work with me. But I know that there's some excellent coaches out there. I can't be a coach for everyone. And I'm part of an accountability group of coaches that are fabulous. Many of my friends are coaches, and there's all sorts of different types of coaches for your needs. But I personally have used coaching probably for at least the last 15 years now. And I'm going to continue to do it because it is such a great tool. It's really helped me tremendously in getting the results that I want. And I'm here to, basically help you with it. And I realize I say basically too much, so I need to stop doing that. But anyway, let's get to it. Let me give you the details of the who, what, when, and why here. So first of all, who is it for? You might think, coaching, it's not for me. I really don't need it. Well, I have to share this quote from Eric Schmidt, who's a former CEO and chairman of Google, because I love it. And I think it really, says why everyone needs coaching in some form. And what he says is, the quote is, every famous athlete, every famous performer has somebody who is a coach, somebody who can give them outside perspective. The one thing that people are never good at is seeing themselves as others see them. Does that apply to you? It certainly applies to me. Raise your hand. It applies to every single one of us. And that's why you can get so much out of coaching. When you work with a coach, you're getting an extra set of eyes and ears that will really tap into, that will help you to get to where you want to go. It's really important that way. And also, too, I have to say, you might think that some of us, I know when I was early in my career, I think I put executive leaders on a pedestal often. I'm like, wow, they must have done so much to get to that level. Imagine leading a company. Well, executives, we're all human beings, okay? At the end of the day, I mean, we're always throughout the day. But executives especially need coaching. And it's not because they're, executives itself. It's just because they're the most visible in an organization. They truly are the most visible. When you are an executive leader at an organization, you've got a lot of eyes on you every day, internally and externally. And it's critical that you lead by example. It starts with you. In order for you to be a good leader, you need to lead by example. And by you working with a coach, then you're setting the stage for the people on your team to work with a coach. Coaching benefits everyone. And although we have to find the coach that's going to help us with our specific needs that we have. But that's why I feel executives out of everyone need coaching the most, and because they are the most visible, and really leading by example is so powerful. And truly, that's the best way to lead. That's how I learned to lead, because I was fortunate to work for some really good leaders. I also worked for some not so great leaders, and that helped me too, because I knew then what kind of leader I didn't want to be. Okay, so why get coaching? That's often a question. I mean, I'm kind of covering the why too, along with the how, but I wanted to give this specific example from a book that I'm going to be sharing with you. So this book is a tremendous resource, and it's for you. It's specifically for someone who is working with a coach, Or if you're even thinking about it, or maybe right now you're opposed to working with a coach, you should get this book because it is a great tool. And the title of the book is How to Get the Most Out of Coaching, a Client's Guide for Optimizing the Coaching Experience. And it's by Karen Davis and Alex Mill. If you are a coach, then I recommend that you read this book, and then you may want to give it to your clients, because that's what I do. When I first start working with a client, I buy the book for my client. It's one of the materials that I put together for new clients, and I have them read it because I want them to get the most of their investment of time, their investment of energy, their, just all of that. I want them, and their money, obviously, I want them to get the most of their investment and just to really use it, because we're doing all this work. We're going to be doing work together. If you are working with a coach, you want to make sure that you're getting the most out of it. So anyway, this example that I'm going to share with you on the why to get coaching is a great example. And they start off chapter 1 of the book by providing this example. And so the big reason for why to get coaching is to be better than yesterday. If you are someone who's committed to regular, consistent improvement in your work, then coaching, you have to be taking advantage of coaching, because if you're not, you're really missing out on a great tool to help you with that. It will accelerate your results. So anyway, this example is of a Dr. Atul Gawande. I may be mispronouncing his name because I'm not sure the right way to pronounce it, but he's a well-respected surgeon. He's also a public health professor and a writer. And he started in his medical practice in 2003. And for several years, he had a steady trend of learning and improving, which is wonderful. I mean, we would all want to have that in our careers, right? We all want to have a trend of getting better at what we're doing and getting better at our trade. It doesn't matter what we're doing. I mean, ideally, I think we all would like that, to be better at our work. And as part of he also did some writing for the New Yorker magazine, but he decided he did some research on what it would be like to work with a coach, because he did writing on the side for the New Yorker. So, and through his research, he found out that a lot of professionals rely on coaches to help identify blind spots and also make, suggest improvements that they might not have come up on their own. Because again, a coach has a different perspective from yours, and they're in a better position to suggest improvements for you. So basically I just think that's a great example that really illustrates the why you want to, work with a coach. It's important. So I love that example, and I had to share that with you. Now, the next thing is the how of coaching. Like how do you get coaching? How do you do it? Well, number one, you need to make sure that you get referrals. I'm a big believer in referrals, or you could certainly, LinkedIn has a lot of coaches on this platform. You can do a search for them, and LinkedIn, it's easy to do a search to find people. LinkedIn is a great search engine in itself. So you can do that. So try to identify some coaches, and then many coaches have case studies, testimonials, references. So you can check all those out. And you should also talk with a coach, because you want to make sure that if you are going to be embarking on work with a coach, you need to feel comfortable. You're not going to be comfortable with every coach. I'm not a coach for everyone. So there's only certain people that, I'm going to be a fit for. And that makes sense. I understand that. So you need to do that too. It's really important to do that vetting. So, and then also, what kind of coaching is going to work best for you? Is one-on-one coaching going to be the best solution for you? or maybe if you participate in a group coaching program, would that be optimal? Sometimes there are coaching programs that are a combination of that. You get one-on-one coaching and you also get group coaching. So you get a combination of the two. I currently provide one-on-one coaching to my clients, but I'm actually looking at a way to add a benefit to them of group coaching in addition to one-on-one coaching, because I think that's a great thing to be able to offer to my clients. So again, there's one-on-one coaching. That's like one of the ways that you can receive coaching. There's group coaching programs that are out there. You could also have a combination of coaching, which would be both of those. So, and then the term, like what is it that you need to tackle? What is it that you need help with? What is it that you want to accelerate? Getting back to my example of how coaching provides you with an extra set of eyes and ears. It provides you with that extra set so you can get unstuck. Because if you've ever been stuck, raise your hand if you've been stuck. I think we all have those moments where we get stuck and then we get unstuck, but sometimes it takes forever to get unstuck. What if you had a coach that you're working with that helps you to get unstuck quicker so you can get back on the road and get moving? So, oh, and by the way, you might hear my dog snoring in the background. That's my dog Cooper. So I apologize for that background noise. Typically it's relaxing, but it might be a little distracting. Hopefully it's not, but he loves to be with me in the office. And sometimes his snoring can get quite loud. So, but anyway, okay. So back to the how. Again, for you to get the most out of coaching, you need to be clear on what it is, what's the result that you want from the coaching. And that's part of identifying what your return on investment is for it. Okay. So at the very beginning, and you should know what this is. What is it that you want to achieve? And when you're talking with different coaches, having conversations, and just researching who you want to work with, you should be clear on what it is that you're going after, because you might talk with coaches who really aren't the best ones to help you with that goal that you have, with that intention. So you need to do that. That is critical. And then also think about what your deadline is. When do you have this? Do you have a deadline? If you're looking for a job, maybe you really need to find a new role in 2 months or in a month, or maybe it's 90 days, whatever your time frame is, you need to be clear on that as well. That is very important. So again, like thinking about the how and how much time, what is going to help you if you're busy, if your job is really demanding. Maybe you're doing a job search while you're working in a very demanding role. If you would be doing weekly sessions with your coach, when would those be? Like thinking about when are you going to carve out the time to work with a coach? And then also too, when are you going to do the work between your coaching sessions? Because I'm sure that there is going to be some work that you'll need to do between your coaching sessions. That is really important to keep in mind. This is another bonus for you in watching this training. You may be attending live. And by the way, if you are watching it live right now and you have a question, please feel free to drop it in the comments. Okay. If I don't answer it right now, we will get back to you. We will get you an answer. Okay. But, so another way to get coaching is self-coaching. Self-coaching is something that works. And I have one of my bonuses or gifts for you today for watching this training is my sheet of self-coaching questions. So these are questions that you can ask yourself when you do get stuck, so you can get unstuck. Okay. Now, I would recommend that if you are going to use those, like you might try to use those questions. If you feel that you're not using them correctly, you may want to do a session with me or with another coach to make sure that you're using them. Because the thing is, you're using those questions, but you are missing that extra set of eyes and ears, and we can only see so much. But there are times when, using those self-coaching questions can be very beneficial. So we will be putting the link for those questions for you to access that free tool, those self-coaching questions. We'll be putting that in the comments for you. As well as the link, the Amazon link to that book that I recommended. Because that book truly is, it's like an instruction manual for working with a coach. And even though I've had great success in working with coaches, and I'm going to continue working with coaches, I wish I had known about this book when I first started working with a coach too, because it would have helped me to get even more out of that experience. So, but at least you can have the book now. And again, if you are a coach, get the book, read it, let me know what you think, and then share it with your clients, because I think you're going to find it extremely helpful. So yeah, so that's the book. And then also too, we're going to drop those in the comments. So another thing, the how, I've been talking about the how, but there's also something else that's really important that I need to touch upon. And this is like the last main point for me to cover with you. And it's your coachability. Not everyone is receptive. Not everyone wants to work with a coach. But working with a coach can be an incredible benefit if you are coachable. What do I mean by you being coachable? You need to be open to receiving guidance, first of all. If you're not receptive to that, then it's going to be much harder. You also have to be action-oriented. I know many of us, and myself included, I think in the past, I've really enjoyed reading and absorbing content, learning. I loved going to school. But there's only so much learning you can do. You also need to take action. You need to take what you have learned and you need to apply it. And that's what I try to do with my clients and working with them is, teach them new things, but also help them to implement, because you need to take action. It's a waste of all that knowledge and information if you're just taking in content and you're not applying it, you're not taking action. So being action oriented is crucial, in addition to being open to guidance. Another thing, there's a lot of things that go into being coachable, and the book does touch upon all of these traits. In fact, it has a chapter just dedicated to being coachability. Okay. But so if you get the book, you can definitely check that out. But this other trait I think is really important too. And it's being willing to experiment and test things out. We have to be willing to try things, trial and error. So if you're willing to try some new things, then coaching is going to work more for you. So because you've got to be open to that. You really, really need to be open to testing and trying new things. If you're more of a perfectionist and a little bit more rigid, then it's going to be harder for you. So yeah, so that's something I wanted to touch upon too. So again, so the links are the links to the awesome book, How to Get the Most Out of Coaching, which again, I feel is the instruction manual for working with a coach. And again, get the book if you are even thinking of working with a coach. If you think that coaching can help you, I'm sure it can. But if you're not sure, message me and I'm happy to have a conversation with you. And I don't have to be your coach. Somebody else could be your coach, but I think it's very helpful. So the link again is for the book. And then also we're putting in a link for my self-coaching questions, because even when you are working with a coach, you can learn how to do self-coaching, or you can take my self-coaching questions now and you can try to use them to help you when you do get stuck. And then the last thing I want to close with is, if you and I are connected and we haven't done a clarity call, a career clarity call, we should do one, because that is the best way that I can help you. It's complimentary, but it's to help you really get the most out of your LinkedIn profile. And if we're not connected, let's connect. We should definitely be connected. And let's have that conversation, because I want my connections and I want your connections. I want all of our connections to be good quality connections. And what makes them good quality connections is when we connect with each other, when we have conversation. That is critical. So, we're putting in the link. It's just like an information page on what a career clarity call is with me, and just a little bit of information, and even some testimonials too from my clients too, just so you can learn a little bit more about me. But yeah, so hopefully this was helpful. And if you have any questions about coaching, I don't want coaching to be a mystery, because it's been a fabulous tool for me, and I know it's been a fabulous tool for many of you out there. So have a great day, and thanks again for attending my LinkedIn Live or watching this. Take care, everyone. Bye.